You are about to find out the key levels for stocks that are releasing their earnings after hours today. So you've got Amazon, Apple, Coinbase, Square, Airbnb, DraftKings, and Wish are the ones we're going to cover in today's video. So to get straight into it and to start off with Amazon, you can see right now we're at around $129. This is considered a relatively fair value on the stock because the other fair value is at $111. Now, again, you have two, one from a 6-month chart, one from a 1-year chart. So right now we're trading within this area. So relatively at fair value, we have one support in this range is at 114. So really, if we sell off this earnings, that would be the key area I'd be paying attention to, around 111 to 114. And if there was an extreme move to the downside, we have a support at 94.50. So those are the support levels on Amazon. From the resistance standpoint, we really have just one key level to be paying attention to, and that's these two levels here. You've got the 6-month second deviation and our first deviation from the 6-month. So strong resistance here at 144 and 143.90. So again, a really strong layer of resistance if we are able to push up to that level. So those are the key supports and resistances on Amazon. Now to go over the key levels on Apple, this one has a bit more levels to be paying attention to, but is still with the same problem with Amazon where we are still relatively near fair value. So our upper fair value is at 129.50 and our lower fair value at 178.80. So within this area, again, we're trading within the area of fair value like we are right now. So we may not have as much of a reaction, but if we do start moving, we have one support within that area at 188, which is our quarterly anchored rewrap. So this goes from June 1st. So that's quite key. If we do push to the upside, we have our 196.75 resistance. And if we're able to break that, we have two levels quite close together at 112 and 214.65. So key resistances are there, 196.75. Then if we sell off, we have that anchored VWAP to be paying attention to. Wouldn't really be trading off that, just something to be paying attention to. So then I'd really be paying attention to the 173. But I think with Apple, unless we get a relatively big move, I think this earnings will be pretty boring to trade. Probably not something I'm going to trade unless we can get that bigger move. Now, on to Coinbase, ticker Coin. Right now, we're sitting at $92.50. We're seeing this stock move quite a lot recently. There's been a lot of news with the SEC filings. They need to delist a lot of their currencies by the SEC before they get sued and all this stuff. So a lot of stuff's happening on this stock. So this earnings could actually be quite volatile. But what are the key levels I want to be paying attention to? So from a support side, we have a deviation level at $83. Now, this is actually on the overbought side. So if you think this trend is going to continue, that could be a great support to be paying attention to. Then we also have our two anchored rewraps at $77 and $69.60. So those are basically the three key supports I'd be paying attention to on Coinbase. If we end up pushing to the upside, we have $97.50 to $99. Quite close to where we are. I imagine we would actually get a bit more of a reaction out of this stock than that. But if it's a bit of a smaller reaction, then again, that's what we're paying attention to, $97.50, $99, which we've been seeing hold up quite well recently. Now, if we did break that, we do have one more resistance at $114, which is basically near that recent high as well. So should be quite a nice level, but definitely caution, because if we do break that, that can definitely lead to stops coming into the open of tomorrow. Now on to Block, also known as Square. So right now we're sitting at $72. If we push to the downside, we have fair value at $67.75, and if we get a really strong move, then we actually have two supports at $60.30 and $59.20. So again, those are deviation supports. If we want anchored VWAP supports, we have $64.75, $69.25. Now to cover the upside potential move, we have $75.20, $76.30, and a final level at $82.50. Which again, it could be a bit far from where we are now, but if we did get it, really strong resistance and going to also be higher than the recent high. Now onto Airbnb, ticker ABNB. We're sitting at 142 as of right now. The levels here are quite far, especially to the downside. So if we push to the downside, we don't really have key supports until 119 and 112. So definitely quite far off. but that's just because this stock has really been on quite a big tear recently. And this is something I would take into caution coming into this earnings. We're seeing this with a lot of these stocks. They're having massive runs into their earnings. And again, this could be relatively good earnings being priced in. So unless they really beat, they're really strong, a lot of times you're still going to sell off on these releases. Bit like what you saw on AMD happen today. We sold off even though they had relatively good or in-line earnings, just because the move is already been priced in. So to the downside, 119, 112. If we do push to the upside, we don't actually need as big of a move, but we have key levels at 152 and 155.20. Now on to DraftKings, ticker DKNG. To me, this reminds me a lot like Shopify from yesterday, where I don't think we'll actually come into a level. I don't think the earnings is going to be significant enough to drive us into any key level. Because really our key levels, if we go to the downside 23.50, if we go to the upside 35 and 36.30. A move to one of these levels would have to be very significant, which is 15% to the upside or 22% downside. So don't know how likely are we to actually hit one of these levels, so we'll put them here just in case we get a significant move. But if we don't get a big move, again, just not going to be near any levels, not really going to be all that tradable. And on to the last stock of the day, Wish. So right now we're sitting at $8. If we go to the upside, we have key resistances at $10.80 and $12.70. Now this stock is volatile. That's what we've been seeing. Obviously, look over here. That is off of a reverse stock split, but massive gaps. We do see quite big moves on this stock, so don't know if we can push 2 points, but if we can, obviously we have that 10.80 and a bigger move, 12.70. Now, we don't have any deviational supports. All we have is a level at 5.10. This is fair value on the stock, so statistical mean, but I don't tend to trade off this stock. So to me, Wish is more of a trading opportunity. If we push to the upside tonight, could be a swing short coming into the open tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, why don't you check out this video, because you'll probably enjoy that one too.